Good morning, Clearbranch kids. I hope that you guys are enjoying our month talking about patience as much as I am. And I say enjoying, but really talking about being patient isn't all that fun because after all, we usually want what we want right now, or we want what we want to happen as quickly as possible. And so learning to be patient isn't necessarily fun, but it is important and it is really good for us. And so if we need to review what patience means, it means to wait for something even though you would like for it to happen right now. And again, like we said, that's not always easy. So today we're going to hear a story from the very beginning of the Bible, from the book of Genesis, about someone who did not use patience and the price that he paid for it. So you may remember that there was born a set of twins named Jacob and Esau. And we often we think about twins as being identical, but these were not identical twins. They were what we call fraternal twins. So they looked different. They were different sizes. They probably didn't even look like brothers the way that the Bible described them. So Esau was born first, and then just after him, Jacob. Now, the boys grew up and they developed very different interests. Esau was very much an outdoorsy guy. He liked to be outside. He liked to hunt. He liked to spend time with his father out on their grounds. But Jacob was more of an indoorsy guy. And he really enjoyed learning how to cook and how to do different things around the house. And he learned a lot of these things from his mother. And so Esau was very close to their father, Isaac, and Jacob was very close to his mother. Now, another thing that's important to understand about this family is that in those days, there was something that was called a birthright. And the birthright was that any of the family's, their wealth or their belongings, their land, the birthright said that all of those things would go to the eldest son when the father died. But usually also the father would give what's called a blessing. And so they would then bestow on that older son all the things that they wanted for them, and then officially pass down the reins of the family to them. So keep that in mind. Now, like I said, Jacob and Esau were very different guys. And as a part of Esau's very outdoorsy personality, he also could be a little dramatic. And sometimes, as we're going to learn, not very patient. So one day Esau had been outside, he had been hunting, and he had gotten so hungry. And when he came in, he saw Jacob cooking in their kitchen, and he was like, "Brother, give me something to eat. I'm starving. I'm literally going to die of starvation." Have any of you said that before? And did you die? Because my kids have said it and they were always just fine. Esau probably would have been too. But Jacob saw his chance. He knew that Esau was going to inherit everything. It's part of his birthright. And so he saw this chance and he said, "I'll give you some soup, but what are you going to give me?" And Esau's like, "I'm so hungry, I can't think. What do you want?" And he said, "Well, I want your birthright. You trade your birthright to me for if you want me to give you something to eat. I've been in here working on this all day. Why should I give it to you otherwise?" Well, Esau, in his impatience, said, "Okay, fine. Take it," and really probably didn't think about it again. Well, a little time passed, and their father got he was getting near the end of his life. He was very ill, he was very old, he was very weak, and his eyesight was almost completely gone. And he knew that the time was coming where he would probably not be in this world for much longer. And so he wanted to bestow his blessing to his oldest son, Esau. So he told his wife, "I want you to have Esau come to me. I want to spend some time with him. I want to bestow this blessing upon him." But instead, she went to Jacob, who was her favorite, and she said, "Listen, your father is about to give the birthright to your brother, but here's what you should do." And so they put together a plan in which Jacob went out and found the wool from an animal, and he covered himself with it so that he was hairy and burly like Esau, and so that he smelled like the outdoors. And then he fixed something to eat and he brought it to his father and sat down. And he was able to trick his father into thinking that he was Esau. And then Isaac bestowed that birthright onto Jacob mistakenly. So now Esau, in his impatience, has lost his birthright and now has been tricked, or his father has been tricked out of the blessing as well. So our lesson here, guys, is that nothing good comes out of being impatient. Well, while most of us hopefully are not going to lose our inheritance over being impatient or let someone trick us out of that, there are a lot of things that we can lose by being impatient. So I want you to remember as you go throughout your week, this week's bottom line, and that is, when you think you can't wait, think twice. Have patience and use that in your life to make wise choices. Have a great week.